So, today we are going to start the new chapter called Chemical Coordination and Integration. Okay, in the previous chapter, Neural Control, you have already studied about the neurons, how the neuron acts on our body, how the neuron controls our neural control in our body, and in this chapter, we are going to know that how chemical coordination occurs, means how the hormone acts on our body. Okay, how the hormones acts on our body. So let's start. At first, to know the chemical coordination, we should know the basic things, that what is endocrine gland, what is actually the hormones, the definition of hormones, and etc etc. So firstly, I want to say that the neural control is very first. Neural control is very first and short lived. Okay, so neural control or neurons can't innervate to the whole body. That's why we need some chemical controls, and the chemical controls is done by hormones. Okay, hormones is secreted from endocrine glands. Okay, and these neural control and chemical control both stimulates, both regulate our physiological activities, physiological functions. Okay, so there are three types of glands in our body. First one is endocrine gland, second one is exocrine gland, third one is mixed gland or composite gland. Okay, so what is endocrine gland? Endocrine gland secretes hormones. These are ductless, and hormones are carried through blood or tissue fluid. Okay, second one is exocrine gland. Exocrine gland is here duct is present, and from exocrine gland enzymes are carried out. Okay, third one is mixed gland. Third one is mixed gland. Mixed gland consist of both endocrine and exocrine functions. Okay, that means from the mixed glands such as pancreas, each has both functions, endocrine function and exocrine function. That means from it both hormones and enzymes are carried out. Okay, so firstly, we should know the definition of hormones. What is the definition of hormones? Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals which are also called intercellular messengers. Intercellular messengers. Okay, so this is the new definition of hormone. Okay, in the new definition of hormone, it includes also some molecules other than endocrine glands, which are also called hormones. Okay, can you understand what I am going to say you? What I want to say you, that we all know that endocrine gland stimulates chemical control. Okay, but as per this new definition, few also other molecules are also consist of endocrine glands. Okay, so firstly we are going to start from human endocrine system. In human endocrine system, there's a lots of glands, lots of endocrine glands, mixed glands, such as we are going to study hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, thyroid, thymus, parathyroid, adrenal, gonads. Gonads mean testes in males and ovary in female. Okay, testes in male and ovary in female. Then in addition to this, there are some others ducts, such as gastrointestinal duct, liver, kidney, heart, etc. Okay, these are also a part of endocrine system. So firstly, we are going to start from hypothalamus. Okay, we all know that hypothalamus is called master of master gland. Okay, hypothalamus is called master of master gland. Why this is called master of master gland? Because it stimulates the secretion of master gland. What is called master gland? Pituitary is called master gland. We have already studied it from class 8, 9, 10 and all. So you all know that pituitary gland is called master gland, and hypothalamus is called master of master gland because it stimulates the secretion of master gland. Okay, So there are some cells in hypothalamus that are called neurosecretory cells called nuclei, which secrete hormones, and there are two types of hormones in hypothalamus. First one is releasing hormone, second one is inhibiting hormone. Releasing hormone stimulates the secretion of pituitary hormones, and inhibiting hormone inhibit the secretion of pituitary hormones. Okay. So firstly, there are some examples of inhibiting and releasing hormones in ncert. So there is in the releasing hormone, there is one example that I want to mention, that GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. Gonadotropin releasing hormone released from hypothalamus and stimulate the secretion of gonadotropin from anterior pituitary, and second one is somatostatin. Somatostatin is an inhibiting hormone that inhibits the secretion of growth hormones from anterior pituitary. We are talking about anterior pituitary. So what about posterior pituitary? If we are willing to say about posterior pituitary, then there we should mention one thing, that hypophyseal portal system. We have studied in excretory system and products that there are some portal system in our body, such as hepatic portal system, renal portal system, such. Another one is hypophyseal portal system that present in hypothalamus and connect between the anterior pituitary and hypothalamus. Okay, hypophyseal portal system, signals carried out through hypophyseal portal systems, but in case of posterior pituitary, there is no hypophyseal portal system. There is the direct connection between hypothalamus and posterior pituitary. So there is no hormones of posterior pituitary. Actually, posterior pituitary, okay, we are going to read it in pituitary. Anyway, in hypothalamus, I am going to repeat it, that hypothalamus is master of master gland. Second one, its origin is ectodermal, and third one, it has some neurosecretory cells that is called nuclei, and that secretes hormones. Okay, that secrete hormones. And there are two types of hormones in hypothalamus: releasing hormone, inhibiting hormone. Releasing hormone, inhibiting hormone. Releasing hormone stimulates the secretion of pituitary. Inhibiting hormone inhibits the secretion of pituitary. Okay, got it? And there are hypophyseal portal system between hypothalamus and anterior pituitary, and there is no hypophyseal portal system between posterior pituitary and hypothalamus. So, and there are two examples of releasing hormone and inhibiting hormone, such as in case of releasing hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone stimulates the release of the secretion of gonadotropin from anterior pituitary. Somatostatin is an inhibiting hormone which inhibits the secretion of growth hormone from anterior pituitary. Okay. Second one is pituitary. Pituitary is called master of master gland. Pituitary is called master of master gland, and its origin also ectodermal. Okay, and there are two parts of pituitary. First is adenohypophysis. Second one is neurohypophysis. In adenohypophysis is also divided into two parts. First one is pars distalis, and second one is pars intermedia. Pars distalis and pars intermedia are the two parts of adenohypophysis, and the second part of pituitary is neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis is also called pars nervosa. And from the anterior pituitary, the pars distalis secretes so many hormones, such as the main hormones of our body, such as growth hormone, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, then adrenocorticotropic hormone, etc. Gonadotropin, etc. And the pars intermedia, another part of adenohypophysis, secretes MSH. MSH means melanocyte stimulating hormone. Melanocyte stimulating hormone. And the second part of pituitary is neurohypophysis, which secretes two hormones, oxytocin, vasopressin. These are actually secreted by hypothalamus and stored in the neurohypophysis actually. But in case of humans, pars distalis and pars intermedia are actually mostly merged. So we actually considered pars distalis and pars intermedia as adenohypophysis, and adenohypophysis consists of mainly pars distalis. Okay, and now we are going to talk about the disorders caused by growth hormones. Okay, growth hormones means STH, somatotropin hormone. Okay, so growth hormone stimulates or inhibits growth, stimulates growth actually. But if there are some abnormality of the secretion of growth hormones, then which disorders should occur in our body, we are going to read that. There are two kinds of effects actually, in before puberty, after puberty, means in case of adults and in case of non-adults. Okay, so there are acromegaly, means hyposecretion and hypersecretion. Okay, so hyposecretion means less secretion. Hyposecretion means less secretion. Less secretion causes dwarfism in case of before puberty. If there is less secretion of STH or GH, then the dwarfism will occur. And acromicrin, the second one is acromicrin. Okay, acromicrin is the effect of less secretion of GH in case of adults. And now we are going to talk about the hypersecretion. Hypersecretion causes gigantism in case of before puberty. Hypersecretion, more secretion of somatotropin hormone or growth hormone causes this. And second one is acromegaly. Acromegaly is in case of adult. Acromegaly is such a dangerous disease, you can't imagine that it also leads to death. So diagnosis is very much important in case of acromegaly, because diagnosis is not so much easy in case of acromegaly. Okay, acromegaly means face will enlarge. Okay, this is called acromegaly, and it occurs in case of adults. Okay, now we should know some functions of some hormones, such as we firstly know about growth hormone. It stimulates or it regulates growth. Second one is melanocyte stimulating hormone, that MSH is secreted by adenohypophysis, and more specifically pars intermedia, and it regulates the secretion of melanocyte. It melatonin or melanocyte stimulating hormone acts on melanocytes. Melatonin containing cells are called melanocytes, and regulates the pigmentation. Pigmentation means our skin color. Pigmentation is controlled by MSH. Okay, and firstly growth hormone, then second prolactin. Second one is prolactin. Okay, it regulates the synthesis and secretion of milk. After pregnancy and during pregnancy also. During pregnancy, prolactin inhibits the milk secretion, and after pregnancy, it induces milk secretion. That's why the newborn can take the nutrient from the mother. Okay, anyway, we will study it in human reproduction. So prolactin helps in synthesis and secretion of milk. And second one is TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, it stimulates the secretion of thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones means tetraiodothyronine and triiodothyronine. We are going to read it in case of thyroid gland. Anyway, it regulates the synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormones such as tetrahydrothyronin and triiodothyronin. Tetrahydrothyronin is called thyroxine. Okay, this hypersecretion we are going to study in the thyroid gland. Okay, and then ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone actually synthesize and secretions of glucocorticoid, and the main glucocorticoid in our body is cortisol. We are going to read it again in adrenal gland explanation. Anyway, then LH and FSH. LH and FSH is called gonadotropins. Okay, LH and FSH is called gonadotropins. Why this is called gonadotropin? This is called gonadotropin because it regulates the overall functions, overall secretion and everything of gonads. Gonad means testis in male and ovary in female. Okay, got it? Testis in male, ovary in female. Okay. How it stimulates? Follicle stimulating hormone, FSH. So it obviously regulates the follicles in case of females, right? In case of females, it regulates the functions, the activities of follicles: primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, Graafian follicle. LH, luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone. The name is comprises with corpus luteum. What is corpus luteum? In our body, in our ovary, there are primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, then fully mature Graafian follicle, which contains the secondary oocyte. It, after releasing of the ovum or secondary oocyte from fully matured Graafian follicle, the remnant part is called corpus luteum, and LH helps in the maintaining of corpus luteum. LH helps in the maintenance of corpus luteum. That's why the name is luteinizing hormone. Okay, it is in case of females. In case of males, FSH helps in secretion of the secretions of androgen. Which is the main androgen? Main androgen is testosterone. Okay, testosterone. And androgen and FSH collectively helps in the spermatogenesis. Okay, it is in case of male. Female, I have told earlier. Then the other two hormones are there, oxytocin and vasopressin, which are stored by neurohypophysis, but actually secreted by hypothalamus. Okay, oxytocin actually acts on the smooth muscles of our body, and it play a major role in case of parturition, baby delivery. Why? It helps in the smooth muscle contraction. So when the baby is coming out from the birth canal, of the mother's body in time of parturition, then oxytocin secretes a lot and helps in the vigorous contraction of the birth canal. That's why the baby can come out from the birth canal of the mother's body to the earth. Okay, so oxytocin. And the last one is vasopressin. Vasopressin is also called antidiuretic hormone. In this name, antidiuretic hormone, ADH, there is diuretic word, right? So it inhibits diuresis. Antidiuretic, that means against. Anti means against. Diuresis means releasing of urea through urine. It's called diuresis. So ADH inhibits the wastage, the secretions of urine, means lots of urine, that is stimulated by ADH. Okay, so here we completed the pituitary gland. Okay, so it plays a major role in diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus, how? If ADH is low, if the amount of ADH, the secretions of ADH is low, then uresis will occur, diuresis will occur, means loss of urination, means continuous urination occurs, and that's why one disease is occurred called diabetes insipidus. Okay, there are two types of diabetes mellitus, diabetes insipidus. Diabetes mellitus will study in pancreas. Here we are studying diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus is caused by the less secretions of ADH. ADH means anti-diuretic hormone or vasopressins. Okay, the next one we are coming is parathyroid. Parathyroid is a lobular structure. You know, lobules occur in the dorsal side of thyroid gland. In the dorsal side of thyroid gland. Okay, there are two lobes of thyroid gland. We have already studied. If I want to show you the picture, just see one thing. Here you can see here there are two lobes. See this diagram. There are two lobes of thyroid gland, right? So in each lobe, in this lobe there are two parathyroid gland. Okay, and in this lobe there are also two parathyroid gland. Okay, so in each lobe there are one pair of parathyroid gland. Okay, got it? And in the dorsal side, remember it, dorsal side, this is our ventral side. This is our ventral side, and this back side is our dorsal side. Okay, dorsal side of thyroid gland. The parathyroid glands are located or situated. Okay, got it? So the next thing, parathyroid gland secretes parathyroid hormone, right? So what is the function of parathormone? The function of parathormone is it increases blood calcium level. Thyroid gland secretes thyrocalcitonin, which decreased blood calcium level. Calcium is located in two positions: blood, bone. TCT, thyrocalcitonin, decreases blood calcium level, increase bone calcium level. That's why thyrocalcitonin is called hypocalcemic hormone, because it decreases the blood calcium level. But parathyroid hormone increases blood calcium level, decreases bone calcium level, and it also increases the reabsorption of Ca2 plus from DCT. That's why it increase the blood calcium level. Okay, so TCT and PTH are antagonistic to each other, and when blood calcium level decreases, then PTH occurs, and when blood calcium level increases, then TCT occurs. Okay, got it? The next gland is thymus gland. Thymus gland is also lobular structure, situated between our two lungs, behind the sternum and ventral side of aorta of heart. Okay, thymus gland secretes thymosin. Thymosin helps in the differentiation of T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes plays a major role in our immune system. Okay, so it produces cell-mediated immunity, and secondly it also helps in the production of antibody, and that's how it also provided it also provides humoral immunity. But there is one thing you should remember, that thymus gland is degenerated in time of our growth. Okay, how much we are growing, how much our age is growing, the degeneration of thymus is occurs. Okay, so in case of old individuals, we can see that they have a less immunity because they have this degenerated thymus gland to them. Okay, then we are coming to the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is very much important, because you should remember here one thing, that adrenal gland, there are two parts of adrenal gland. Adrenal glands located on the kidney, both kidney. Okay, there are two parts of adrenal gland: adrenal cortex, adrenal medulla. And I want to say you one thing, that adrenal, the origin you should remember, that adrenal medulla, the origin of adrenal medulla is ectodermal, and the origin of adrenal cortex is mesodermal. Okay, adrenal cortex is mesodermal. There are one pair of adrenal gland in our body, one pair kidney, so one pair adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, we all know that adrenal gland is called 3F. Why? Because flight, fight, fear. In these three conditions, the secretion of adrenal gland occurs. Okay. So underproduction of adrenaline hormones cause one disease called Addison's disease. Addison's disease causes acute weakness, fatigue leading to disease, acute weakness, fatigue is the effects of Addison disease. Okay, so adrenal medulla, first come to adrenal medulla, then we will come to adrenal cortex. Okay, so in case of adrenal medulla secretes two hormones. Adrenaline is called epinephrine, and second one is noradrenaline and called norepinephrine. Okay, these two hormones are called also emergency hormones, because these two hormones secretes in time of emergency situations of our body. Okay, these two hormones are also called flight or fight hormone, and it affects on our body in case of emergency positions: the dilation of pupil, alertness, increase the heartbeat, increase sweating, increase the salivary secretions, etc. Okay, then we are coming to one thing I have left, that this adrenal medulla, the two hormones are hyperglycemic or glycogenic, because it helps in the breakdown of glucose into glycogen, and also it helps in proteolysis and lipolysis. What is proteolysis? Breakdown of protein, and breakdown of lipid is called lipolysis. Okay, then we are coming to adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex is mesodermal in origin. Okay, there are three parts of adrenal cortex: zona reticulata, zona fasciculata, zona glomerulosa. Zona reticulata inner layer, zona fasciculata middle layer, zona glomerulosa is the outer layer. Okay, and the hormones that are produced from adrenal cortex is called corticoids, and the main corticoids is glucocorticoids. Okay, glucocorticoids, and the main glucocorticoid is cortisol. Cortisol is also called anti-inflammatory hormone, because this cortisol help in reducing inflammation, and also this is an immunosuppressive agent. This is also an immunosuppressive agent. It helps in the formation of RBC, and it helps in proteolysis, lipolysis, lipolysis, and it helps in the maintaining of cardiovascular system, etc., etc. Second one is mineralocorticoid. The main mineralocorticoid in our body is aldosterone. Aldosterone we have already studied in excretory products, that it helps in the RAS, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system or something was RAS. Okay, there we have studied about aldosterone. Aldosterone helps in maintaining the absorption, mainly in the GFR effect, mainly in the GFR, glomerular filtration rate. Okay, so this mineralocorticoid aldosterone helps in the reabsorption of sodium and water and excretion of K plus, potassium plus, and phosphate ions. Okay, potassium and phosphate ions. It helps in maintaining osmotic pressure, blood pressure, etc., etc. And the next one we are coming to pancreas. I have told earlier you that pancreas is a mixed gland or composite gland. Mixed gland or composite gland. Its origin is endoderm. It is endodermal in origin, and in pancreas there are islets of Langerhans, and in islets of Langerhans only 1 to 2% beta cells, alpha cells are there. There are 4 types of cells: alpha, beta, gamma, delta cells. Here we will study alpha and beta cells. Okay, from alpha cells the glucagon is secreted, and from beta cells insulin is secreted. Okay, so from glucagon helps in the increase of glucose in blood, helps to increase glucose in blood, so it is hyperglycemic. And insulin helps in the decrease of glucose in blood, so insulin is hypoglycemic. Insulin helps in gluconeogenesis. Neoglucogenesis means breakdown of glucose into glycogen, and helps in the cellular uptake of glucose. Glucagon induces the cellular uptake of glucose and increase blood glucose level, Okay, so insulin and glucagon are antagonistic to each other. And another thing, the disorder in case of hyposecretion of insulin means a prolonged hyperglycemia. When the hyperglycemia occurs when insulin secretion is decreased. When insulin secretion is decreased, then hyperglycemia occurs, and if prolonged hyperglycemia occurs, then there will occur one disease called diabetes mellitus. Helps in glucosuria and ketonuria, means addition of ketone bodies in the urine is called ketonuria, which is very much harmful for our body. This is caused by diabetes mellitus. Okay, and there is another treatment of diabetes mellitus, that is insulin treatment. That means we have to inject insulin in the patient of diabetes mellitus to treat with this diabetes mellitus. Okay, so we have already covered human endocrine system, hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, pineal, thymus, adrenal, and last one, pancreas. Okay, and 2 glands are already left: testis, ovary, and other endocrine systems, and the last hormone mechanism of hormone action. These 4 topics are left. I will teach you that 4 topics in the next video. So stay tuned, and for today, goodbye. One thing I have already left, that if you want my notes, I want to show you my notes. If you want my notes, then you can join me in my Telegram. You can send me message, then please comment. Okay, if you want my notes, then please comment me. I will send you my Telegram number or my Telegram account link. There you can take my notes. Okay, so for today, goodbye. Stay happy, healthy. Okay, so the next one is pineal gland. The origin of pineal ectodermal, and its location is dorsal side of forebrain. Its origin is ectodermal and location is dorsal side of forebrain. Okay, it secretes melatonin. In pituitary, we have studied that MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone, secretes melanin, and here pineal gland secretes melatonin. Both are different. Okay, bind it. So what are the functions of melatonin or pineal gland? The functions are, it regulates the 24-hour rhythm. For example, you can say that sleep-wake cycle, body temperature, then pigmentation, menstrual cycle, and defense capability. Okay, these are the functions of pineal gland. The next gland is thyroid gland. At first, we should know about the location of thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is located in either side of trachea. This is the trachea. Either side of trachea, thyroid glands are located. Okay, its origin is ectodermal. And thyroid gland is consist of follicular cells and stomatal cells. Okay, in follicles, there are follicular cells in thyroid gland, and these thyroid gland secretes two thyroid hormones, triiodothyronin T3 and tetraiodothyronin T4. Okay, T4 is mainly called thyroxine. There is a major role of iodine in case of the secretion of thyroid hormones. Okay, iodine play a major role, and there are two types of disorder occurs in case of hyposecretion and in case of hypersecretion. Okay, deficiency of iodine and more iodine intake affects us in two types of ways. Deficiency causes hypothyroidism, and more intake of iodine is results hyperthyroidism. So what is hypothyroidism? Deficiency of iodine causes hypothyroidism. Okay, and for that hypothyroidism, there is enlargement of thyroid gland. And in case of pregnant woman, if hypothyroidism occur, then there should be many effects on the body, on the baby, such as stunted growth called cretinism. Stunted reduces the growth of the baby, development of the baby, mental retardation, etc. And in case of normal woman, there may be irregularity in menstrual cycle, etc. And if hyperthyroidism occur, when the hyperthyroidism occur, if there is cancer in thyroid gland, or abnormal follicles develop in thyroid gland, then hyperthyroidism occur. And in case of hyperthyroidism, there are lots of effects, such as in case of BMR may be high or low, abnormality in menstrual cycle, uh, weight loss, etc. Okay. And the functions of thyroid gland or thyroid hormone. What are the functions of thyroid hormones? The functions of thyroid hormones are, it helps in metabolism, it helps in erythropoiesis means RBC formation, then it helps in the carbohydrate, protein, fats metabolism. It also helps in the balance of water, electrolytes, etc. We have studied all about thyroid gland, and the next one we are coming to